we're going to be doing a fairy tale called Hansel and Gretel. And it is about, if you've never heard it, two little children. They lived with their father and their stepmother. And they lived in a little log house, but they were very, very poor. Most of the time, a lot of times, they did not have enough food to eat. And the stepmother, she had never been around children much before she married their father. And she wasn't really crazy about children. She just never did love them like, she maybe should have. And she couldn't help it. It's just the way she was. And she told the father, we don't have hardly any money. We hardly have any food. We need to let the children go. The father said, no, they're my little children. But she said, we don't have enough to feed us all. So we have to do something. So she said, you and I are going to take them to the woods and let them get lost. The father, he really didn't want to do it. He really hated doing it. But they did do it. Hansel and Gretel, they took to the woods. The father told them to stay there. He'd come back to get them after he and the stepmom were done chopping wood. And little Hansel and Gretel, they believed him, and they stayed there, and nobody came. And they started trying to find their way back home, but it started to get very, very dark. And when it started to get dark, they started to get very, very scared. And the little brother and sister, they just hung on to each other for as long as they could and kept going and going through the woods. Oh, Hansel, I'm really getting scared. Oh, Gretel, don't worry. You're my little sister. I'll take care of you. Don't you worry. But I'm getting hungry too. I know, I'm hungry too. But we've got to keep going, trying to find our way back home. All right, Hansel, I believe you. Let's go. So they kept on going through the woods. And pretty soon they came to a tall tree. And in this tree sat something special. It was a little owl. And the little owl, he was up in the tree, and he kept going, hoo, 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 hoo. And Hansel and Gretel, they heard him, and they said, oh my goodness, what is that sound in that tree? And they ran over to see what it was, because they'd never been in the woods before. So they had no idea what to expect. And they run over and they look up and they said, oh, Hansel, look at that pretty little bird. And Hansel said to Gretel, I don't know if that's a bird. I've never heard a bird go, hoo, hoo. So they go over and they said, what are you? Are you a bird? And he said, oh, no, I'm an owl. Hoo, hoo. And they said, well, Mr. Owl, we're lost. We've never been in the woods before, and we don't know what to do, and we're awfully, awfully hungry. Oh, you just follow me, and I'll take you where there's a house with lots of food and candy. Oh, that's great. Yeah, Let's go. Hurry, hurry. So off they went, and they went to the house that the Mr. Owl took them to, flying off. So they get to the house, and what do you think they see? Oh, they see a beautiful house, and it's all with candy everywhere out there. And Hansel and Gretel, well, they've never seen a beautiful house like that in their whole life. And they're so excited. And they both go, oh my goodness, look at that house. Candy, food. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. And they look and they look and they start taking pieces off, each one of them, and eating it and eating it. And pretty soon, somebody comes out of that house. And it was a little old woman. And she says to them, "What are you doing with my house, you two? That is my house. This you're eating. You can't eat that, but I have lots of food inside the house. If you'd like to come in and try it, come on in. I just love little children. Please come in and have some food." So, even though you know you what? Never talk to strangers, they didn't listen. And they went in the house. And the house was beautiful. And it had lots and lots of food everywhere. And Hansel and Gretel, they're going, "Oh my goodness, Hansel, look at all that food." And Hansel goes, "I know, Greta, it's wonderful. I'm so hungry, let's eat." So they went in and they took turns eating all the food. The walls were lined with candy everywhere. Even the floor was lined with candy. And they ate and they ate and ate and ate till they got very, very sleepy. And that's when the old woman said, "Come with me. I'll show you where you can sleep for the night." And she seemed so sweet. "Aha! I'm going to put them down to bed, and then I will do what I need to do." So Hansel and Gretel, they went to sleep for the night. But the little old lady, she decided to go in and wake up Hansel. He was sound asleep. He was actually snoring. Shoo, shoo. And she went over and she says, "Oh, Hansel, wake up. I have something to show you. You are going to just love." "Wake up, my pretty boy." And so Hansel, he woke up and he goes, "Oh, you want me to come with you?" "Yes, I have something special just to show you." "Okay." So he believed her. And poor little Hansel, he went with the little old nice, supposed to be, lady. And she took him to see this. Inside, she opened the door And she said to him,
"Oh, Hansel, look inside and see what you can see."
So Hansel trusted her. He didn't know. He's looking in and he's going, "Wow, look at all that food. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty." And the nice little old lady pushed him inside and shut and locked the door in the cage. Now Hansel's in the cage and he can't get out. So that poor little guy, he's yelling for Gretel, "Help, help, Gretel, help!" But she can't hear him.
"Ha ha! Now I did what I need to do. Now I'll go back and take care of his sister. Ha ha ha!"
So she went back. And the next morning, Gretel wakes up and she goes, "Oh my, where's my brother?" She could not find him anywhere because the wicked old witch had took and put him in a cage. And she says to the witch,
"Where's my brother? I can't find him. Oh, he's just kind of hanging around, probably looking around for stuff. You know how your brother is. He's curious about everything." "Yeah, but usually he's always waking up when he never leaves me without telling me." "Well, I don't know about that, but I have a surprise for you." "What?" "Well, I'll show you."
So she had in her house a huge oven. And in this oven is where she cooked everything. And I hate to say it, but even little children. She was a mean, old nasty witch, but she acted nice, just like strangers do sometimes. But she told Gretel, she said,
"Well, Gretel, oh, what? Well, you see this stove over here? Why, of course, it's a nice stove. Well, I have somebody I'm going to put in there." "You do? What is it? Is it a pie? Is it cookies?" "Oh, no. It's your brother!" "What? You have my brother? Where is he?" "He's in a cage, and he can't get out, and you can't get to him." "So, I'm going to mix up a potion, and we're going to put something in the oven."
"Oh, no." Gretel was so upset. "Oh, my. What am I going to do? My brother's in a cage, and I know that mean old lady's going to want to cook me too. What can I do?" So she thought and thought. Pretty soon she said to the old lady,
"Well, if you must, I will go first. I'll let you put me in before you ever touch my brother." "All right, if that's what you want, we'll do it."
So they go over to the oven and they open the door. And the old lady opens it and she says,
"Come on, little girl. I'll show you what it looks like."
And when Gretel goes over, she goes,
"Oh my, there's something wrong in there. It doesn't look right. It's too small, I think, for me."
And the old lady says,
No, I'll show you."
so she goes over and she says,
"Look, I can show you. I get in there, you can get in there."
so she goes to look, and what do you think Gretel does? She shoves that old lady in the oven, and she shuts that door, and she says,
"There, you're not going to hurt me and my brother anymore."
and then she goes to look for her brother. And her brother's yelling, what? Help! Help me, Gretel! Help me, Gretel! Help! Help! And there he is in his little cage. And Gretel runs and she goes, oh, don't you worry, my precious Hansel. I'll help you. So she does. And Hansel comes back out of the cage. And he goes, oh, my sister. Oh, my precious, precious Gretel. Oh, and they hug, and they hug, and they hug. And they say, let's get out of here. We're going to go find our home. And they start going back. Well, you know what? Still don't know their way in the woods. So, who do you think comes along to help the two little guys out? Of course, their friendly little owl. He comes flying in and he says, hoo, hoo, follow me, I'll help you. And he goes and he flies and they follow him and they follow him. And pretty soon they found their father. He was in the woods also looking for them. And he was so happy, happy, happy to see them. He hugged them and they hugged him. But Miss Faye did not know about this story. When they threw, and Gretel threw that mean old wicked woman in that oven and ran and helped her brother and saved him, they also saw something in that house that was very, very nice. And they brought it and they took it home to give to their father. And it was a chest just full of jewels, all beautiful, beautiful jewels. And in this chest was everything they would ever need in order to never be hungry again. And they gave it to their father, and their father just gave them such a big, big hug. And he took them back to their home, and he said, your stepmother is gone. She didn't want to stay anymore. Could be happily living what? You're right, ever after. End of Hansel and Gretel. And now we want to do heartfelt wishes. And our heartfelt wishes are this. Let's turn that on. Let's turn. Our heartfelt wishes are going out that, one, nobody has to go hungry. We would ask in the world, no little children, no grown-ups. We wish all little children had wonderful homes, love food to eat, and parents who love them and care, or someone who loves and cares. Could be grandparents, aunts, uncles, foster parents, could be all kinds. All they want is love. So our heartfelt wishes goes up for them and all of you to stay safe, healthy, happy, and tune in next week. We're going to be doing another story called The Gingerbread Boy. We all love you from Grace Preschool, all your teachers. Miss Renee, if you're watching, hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and all other the teachers, all your families, all our families. We love and miss you so much. Tune in next Tuesday.